Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to another adventure. I'm going to be doing a 3-day, 2-night out and back trail. I'm on the Elk River Hiking Trail in southeastern Kansas. Currently parked at the trailhead on the west side. And let's take a look at a quick map real quick, and I'll show you the overall plan of what the route is I'm going to be taking. Here's an overall picture of what the trail looks like. It's a 15-mile one-way, so I'll be doing all the way out and then all the way back. They've put this map upside down, so the west side where I'm at is actually over here, starting at mile marker 15 and then going down to mile 0. I've been here before. I've only been as far as 2.5 miles in or so. There's a nice campsite there. Otherwise, it'll be all new territory as I venture down this way. This area has seen a lot of rain over the last couple days, so I'm expecting a lot of the trail to be like this, just really muddy, wet. Today and tomorrow are supposed to be pretty nice, mostly sunny and warm temperatures. I think it's supposed to be about 60 today and then maybe up to 70 tomorrow. But then for day 3, it's supposed to rain pretty much all day, I think. Maybe temperatures in the 60s still. I don't think it's supposed to be too cold. So as you saw from the map, I'm pretty much following this river all the way up to where the dammed up lake is at on the other end. And I can tell that the river is definitely higher as far as when I last remember seeing it out here. They definitely got a lot of rain in this area. There's the first mile. Well, I hate getting my feet wet, so I think I'm going to change into sandals real quick and run across this part. Wait a minute. Did the trail just turn into a wetlands? I think it'll be okay. This is weird looking at, it's totally flared out in these areas. This is very different from when I was here last time. It's just crazy seeing how flooded this is. This is normally pretty dry with maybe a small stream. I'm coming to the realization that it is possible further down the trail there might be a spot that directs you to cross something like this, which may make it impassable, but I don't know. I'm just going to keep going. We'll see what we see when we get there. There's the second mile in. And I know there's a reliable water source right around the corner, even during the drier times, so we'll fill up right there. And then the campsite that I've been to before was only another half-mile in from here. Holy cow, this is running crazy good. This was just a slight trickle during the drier times. That's cool. The trail continues up this way. There's usually no water coming out of here. The reliable water source is that trickle up there. Well, I passed the area where my previous campsite location was at, and there were some people camped there, so I didn't want to pull my camera out and kind of film the spot, but it's really nice. It's 2.5 miles in. I think I'm going to stop here for lunch, though, because I was going to plan on stopping at that campsite, but let's just do lunch here real quick. This next bit of trail moves away from the river a little bit, so hopefully I won't see any flooded out areas in this direction. And I feel like I'm going kind of slow the first couple miles, so I probably should pick up my pace a little bit if I'm aiming to do at least 10 miles a day. Mile marker 12. Just taking a minute to appreciate how beautiful it is out here. It's just perfect temperature. It's like 60 degrees. And the skies are clear. Just hear these beautiful bird calls. Light breeze through the trees. Mile mark 11. There's some neat little paw prints in the mud. What would you think those might be? Raccoon? I've definitely seen some deer footprints, that is. I'll keep an eye out for anything else I might see. There's a little camp area just right off the trail. I think I'm at mile 10.5. Doesn't look like it's well used, but there might be some decent flat areas to pitch a tent back there somewhere. There's a nice little streamside camp area. I think I'm still somewhere just before the 10-mile marker. And this is probably normally dry, but it looks cool now. And this crossing doesn't look bad. I think I can manage this without getting wet. Kind of reminds me of your average crossing on the Eagle Rock Loop Trail that I did. There's mile marker 10. Looks like there's another trailhead up here. We can retake a look at the map and see where we're at and check our progress. Alright, once again the map's upside down where north is down, but whatever. So I started over here, mile marker 15 on the western end, and we've done all of that. I'm currently here in between mile 9 and 10, and the goal, I'd like to see if I can find a campsite somewhere around mile marker 5. That'll give us 10 miles every day. Maybe day 2 I can go from here to the end and then back to a campsite around there somewhere. Here's number 9. Mile marker 8. I'm really loving this trail. It's definitely unique for Kansas. These lots of little rock alleyways and stuff that you gotta walk through at intermittent times. I can't believe how flooded the river looks. You can definitely tell where it's not supposed to be at. It's way over flooded. I think I'm around mile marker 7.5. It's another stream crossing. It looks like a little campsite here. Could be nice. I'm gonna keep going though. See if I can hop across this without getting wet. I think so. So I just got across this little stream and I was looking down at this rock here. It's got a bunch of fossils in it. Let's see what we got. That's definitely a shell. There's some more little tubular things there. There's just a ton of stuff. And a couple of these rocks. That's really cool. Mile 7. Well, I think there's a campsite tucked right back here, actually. Oh, yeah. This could be home for the night. Okay, I did some scouting ahead just to see where the mile 6 marker was, and it's about a half mile up. So I'm at approximately mile marker 6.5, which means I did about 8.5 miles for today, which will leave about 13 for tomorrow, and then 8.5 on day 3 in the rain. So I think that sounds like a game plan to me. I'll probably, stay here tonight. I'll be back here tomorrow night, and that should be about it. The ground's a little rocky, but I think I can make it work for setting up a tent. I'll get that going here shortly. Got my tent all set up. I started to get a fire prepped. I think I'm gonna light that off here shortly and just enjoy that for a little bit before I start cooking dinner. It's got just a small fire pit here. Start that up. And for dinner tonight, we are having mashed potatoes with some Spam and salmon included. Well, the sun's starting to head down in a little bit and starting to cool off here pretty quick. I'm just going to let the fire die down and crawl into bed here shortly. Tomorrow's going to be a full day of hiking. I think I've got like 13 miles. I'm going to go all the way to the other end of the trailhead and then plan on coming back to here, to this spot, to sleep again one more night before heading back on day 3. And we will see you guys in the morning. Morning. Sun's starting to come up, so I better get up as well. It's a pretty nice night last night. It was just a little on the cold side. I think it was only like 38 degrees. But there's no winds. And I was woken up a couple times throughout the night just from animals and creatures howling and barking and whatever else. So I'm going to get up and start getting some food then. all packed up and heading out. It's still kind of cool, so I got my jacket on still. I'll probably take that off shortly. I think it's supposed to warm up. I'm starting pretty quick. It's supposed to get to like 70 degrees, so it'll be a warm day. And I got like 13 miles to do, so I started picking up a good pace. Here's mile marker 6. Mile 5. And it looks like a really decent campsite right here. Places for tents. So this would have worked out perfectly for doing 10 miles a day then. Right at the 5-mile mark. There's mile 4, and with a small campsite. They seem to be more prevalent towards this end of the trailhead. Looks like I'm just about at the spot where the river is kind of opened up into the main part of the dammed up lake. Mile 3. I like how all these little gullies have water flowing in them. So there's a reliable water source at least every mile, which makes it really nice and handy. These are probably all dry normally when it doesn't get much rain. It's a nice bench and overlook up here. I think I might take a break for a bit. Mile 2 is a fun rocky bit of trail. I can see the dam across the way over there. Here's a better lake overlook. I hear some boats every once in a while, but I don't see anyone out there. Maybe they're stayed close to the harbor over on that side. I was thinking I hadn't seen mile marker 1 yet, and I just happened to look backwards. It's been removed from this side of the tree, so I just about almost missed it. But there it is. We got 1 mile left. Okay, looks like I'm going straight up this crevice. That's cool. Well, there's the dam just right there. Seems like half the trail is made up of stuff like this, where you're just right along this rocky cliff. You're just kind of maneuvering around boulders and stuff. I think it's more rocky on this part of the trail, this last. 2 or 3 miles or so. It's a little more technical. I guess this will work as a bridge. It looks a little precarious. It's probably sturdy enough. Let's see. Yeah, it's not bad. Oh, there's the end of the trail just up there. I think I'm gonna go up, tag the sign, and then come back to this area and have lunch. This is a pretty nice little spot. Well, the sign on this trailhead is in much better shape than the other one. The other one was falling apart. But there we are, far on the eastern side. So, yeah, I think I'm still gonna go back to about the 6.5 mile point, stay the night there, and then hike back out, back to the car for tomorrow. Let's go do lunch. I'm back in the woods and 6.5 miles till camp. Mile 1. Mile 2. It's just a mess of driftwood piled up in this end. Mile 3. Oh, my feet are officially sore. Walking on all these rocks is not good for the soles of your feet. I'm gonna be tired tonight, that's for sure. Mile 4. Mile 5. Mile 6, almost there. And I made it back to the site. I'm gonna set up camp real quick and then air out my feet some. They're definitely on the sore side. I'm a little more settled in now. I got my tent all set up. I'll show that later. For right now, I'm just gonna air out my feet some and then probably start getting dinner here shortly. I think we got like 2 hours of daylight or so, and then the weather forecast is supposed to be thunderstorms all night, starting from like midnight till about noon. So I'm going to try to sleep in as much as possible, and then if there's a break in the weather around noon, I'll try to get out and pack up at that point. But one way or the other, it's going to be a fun stormy night. Here's dinner for tonight again. I've got the mashed potatoes, salmon, Spam, got some meat and cheese sticks, and a protein bar. We'll call that good. I'm done with all my chores for the night, and I think I'm ready to get settled in and potentially be in my tent for the next 18 hours. trying to outlast some stormy weather. I got my tent back in the woods a little bit from where I was the other time. Should be a little more protected. I'll give you updates as the night progresses. I think it'll be pretty fun though. Good morning. It's only lightly raining right now, right about sunrise, and I didn't get much sleep last night. I was just double checking the weather forecast, and it looks like we might be getting a break in the weather. Earlier it was forecasting just rain straight for like 12 hours, but in the next hour or so it was looking like it's just going to be cloudy for a few hours and then it gets stormy again. I think I'm going to make a break for it. I'm going to give it a little bit to see if the rain stops completely, and maybe snack on some breakfast bars or something just here, and then as soon as the rain stops, I think I'm going to just pack up and get out real quick. There was a break in the weather for like 10 minutes. I got most of the way packed up except for putting away the tent, and then the rain started picking up again a little bit. So I think I'm going to sit here for like the next, I don't know how long, half an hour, and then as soon as there's a break, I'm going to pack this up and get on the road. My camera is not waterproof at all, so I don't know how many shots I'll be able to take, but I will as I can, going through the rain. We'll see as the day progresses. Alright, first off, the rain has stopped and I made my escape, so I'm on my way back. I think we might have a break in the weather to where we've got a couple of hours where there's no rain, so that'll be nice. And on a second note, yeah, I think all the waterways are going to be way more flooded than they were last time, so I was able to rock hop most of this stuff. So I'm just going to get wet. I don't care. Today's going to be a wet day, so I'm just going to trudge right through it. Mile marker 7. Oh, there's a bunch of deer running out in front. I don't know if you can see them though. Yeah, these are getting better and better. I love how I can just hear the rushing water from like hundreds of feet away still. I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a good crossing. I'm not gonna be doing the whole set up the camera and walk through it and then walk through it again to go get your camera. I'm gonna have enough of these to go through today. I'm just gonna get through it and we'll see you on the other side. Mile 8. On day 1 when I was coming out here, I could do all these crossings without getting wet, but not this time. On another note, while I'm thinking about it, my feet are doing just fine right now. They were definitely hurting last night, and like the last 3 miles were getting really painful. I feel like mentally, if you know you got like miles remaining, you just kind of push through the pain, I guess. You just kind of get there. But then as soon as I got to camp, they were just throbbing and every step just hurt. But good night's rest, well, relatively speaking with the storm, but rest on the feet. Did a good job. And yeah, my feet are all fine right now, and legs and knees, everything else is fine. So we're doing good as far as physically. I'm just loving it out here today. I love how different everything feels when it's like overcast and wet. And not in a bad way, it's just different. It's more fun. I don't know. I think if I was doing another night out here in the rain and stuff, it might be a little different, but I don't know. This is just a great experience. I think it's a good way to end. It's a good way to end the trip. And just trudging through wet trail, fording every creek crossing, shin deep. I don't know. I love it out here. Mile 9. Well, I made it back to this other trailhead. Let's take a look at a map. Yeah, mile 9.5. We're getting there. Hopefully I can get to the end before it starts raining and thunderstorming again. It's still in the forecast for coming up later. Mile 10. And another stream crossing. Mile 11. Mile 12. This shot's for Alan and Jake. Our old campsites. Just a little washed out. Looks a lot different than last time we were here. Yeah, this will be fun. I gotta cross right through that again. I might go down further, cross it over there, actually be safer. It's really flowing now. That looks cool. Mile 13. Yeah, this is that part of the trail where it disappears into the wetlands for a little bit. But I should be okay going. Yeah, I'm just going to divert from here. I'm going to go up and around. And this should be the last time that I have to get my feet wet. Mile 14. One more mile to go. I think I'm getting into the last quarter mile or so of trail. So this thing's coming to an end pretty quick here. Overall, this has been an awesome trip. 3-day, 30-mile out and back has been just about perfect, I think. If you're real hardcore, you can try to do it in 2 days. Most of the trail's pretty easy to walk. It's just rocky, so it'll be tough on your feet, I think, a little bit. It's cool views with the different rock formations and stuff, kind of crawling up around the boulders. And there's a couple of steep bits. Nothing too bad though, where you're kind of scrambling up or scrambling down for a little bit. But I've loved it overall. The weather's been was really good the first 2 days, and then even today it was supposed to be a lot worse than what it actually turned into. We were supposed to have rain all through till like noon or so, but it's ever since I've been out of the tent, it hasn't rained at all. It's been great coming back. I think the last bit is just be careful if you've had a lot of rain out here, because I can see some of those creek crossings being knee-deep or deeper and being a little tougher to cross than even what I had to go through. But it'll be fun. I'll check back in one more time when we get to the end of the trailhead itself. Should be up here shortly. There's the end. And my car's still here. So that's it. That's the Elk River Hiking Trail, full length out and back, 30 miles. Thanks everyone for coming with me and watching it, and join me again for my next adventure. I'll see you next time.